Welcome back. Let's take a look at the karmic third party. A very warm welcome. We're here to cover the karmic third party's energy. And for those of you cross-watching, Happy New Year. And let's get into the energy of what I psychically see for these individuals. Now, as usual, we do get the crowning energy. And these individuals are very in their own rhythm. I sometimes do get the analogy of a way with fairies, but they're doing their own thing. They're flowing. They could be quite social, but there could be some suggestion that they may need to go with the flow, as even if they don't anticipate it, there are going to be some grave changes. Okay, fives are all about changes. I do recall in my life when I did start seeing the fives, I was like really asking universe to bring some change to my life. It was just this kind of this point, I guess you can get to where everything feels like a stalemate and it just feels so stagnant and nonchalant, and food don't taste so good, Brian Adams. And then it was like almost an analogy of, oh, good grief, be careful what you're asking for. Now, this has been playing out for these individuals, I would say, from Christmas. We do have in the past position the cracker, and I'll give you a close-up view. So there is something lingering on, and there have been some changes. They were anticipating them. There's something coming up that needs readdressing, and it's coming up for change. Now, as they're proceeding forward, there is a maturity that's going to be required here, and I feel, especially when we see this card in the heart space, it's about growing up and maturing and, taking on that Saturnian energy. It could be two things. There could be an immature standpoint of how they're dealing with their life and where they're going in their life and looking at things and feeling a little bit self-righteous. There also can be a shock to the system where a very new situation starts playing out, a little bit like the floor is lava, things start moving, oh good grief, we need to do something. And they're not anticipating it. And there is this immaturity in the response to it, almost like the shock of the new and, responding to it in a little bit of a negative manner. They're also not realizing, by putting the hard work into circumstances, where you get your deepest rewards. And, especially for those of you, if you do a frequency check-in, I've always advocated, which I'm going to have an intro later, really talking about some tips, and I may place it to the end because I don't like to interrupt these videos, being that they are quite short and sweet. And this year we are going to be adding information videos, education content relating to the twin flame path and to help you do the mirror work, etc. And, looking at the karmic energy, a lot of times in the earliest stage of the journey, it can at times trigger us. It's like these people are literally, they've got everything we want. They can be karmic as heck. How do they get away with bloody murder? This is a time where a lot can't. Okay, North Node moving into Pisces. This can be a very karmic time indeed. The 12th house is, it's a Venusian sign. It's a time in which having to see realities, also having to accept delusions. We can have great revelations to do with disillusionment and idealism. We can have big shifts in the perspectives that we have with celebrities, for instance, where we maybe have personified them as gods, and then suddenly having this real revelation that we're wanting more earth-based people, more people in their authenticity, warts and all. It's something that we find more attractive, and just really moving away from it. So we do see this individual at the moment, and especially if you're cross-watching, it's good to look at, okay, could we be in shadow energy? Could we be triggered by things and feeling apprehensive and responding? to a direct karmic cycle or in relation to a karmic cycle. However, this person here in the mix doesn't know what to defend, doesn't know that if they are, moving through difficult times, what happens? A diamond is formed. They do have the skills here. It could merely be that they're choosing not to use them. Again, this person is falling into victim consciousness and really not wanting to address things. They're wanting to do their own thing. They're wanting to, not necessarily is it, it's almost like I'm hearing the term the party's over. The party's over, the tinsel's away, we've moved into the new year and it's time to deal. It's time to really set that course. This person hasn't actually taken that time. Maybe they've really kept themselves quite busy, and they sometimes when we are stressed or we're on autopilot, we haven't even looked at the options. We haven't taken the time to rest, to recuperate, to recharge, so we're ready for 2025. We've really worn ourselves out quite a lot. This person needs to look at something further, but again, they're choosing to skim over the surface, and they're going in like the Fool card in Tarot, thinking that they're actually going to be achieving something. But this can really recharge some wounds. This can really bring about some disillusionment, and it's like they're letting something out. This could be a blow up. It could be expressing their distaste for a circumstance, but I do feel it is causing a release of the wounds. It just depends on, whether it's the person actually doing the inner work or it's them projecting it out. We're going to take a look. Okay, what was going on with them in the past position, please? Why are they nostalgic about the past? I'm hearing also they were hoping to get something different around that time, and it didn't come. For some, they might have been left on the shelf. They might have been left kind of dangling. They might have also been waiting for their divine moment. This could have been a little bit vengeful as well, hoping to, bring karma to a situation, bring karmic balance back. I also feel with counterpart energy, these two individuals aren't seeing eye to eye. And although they might have been projecting out for this person to get their life together, whatever went down, it does feel this person's not directly defending them. It's almost like, the scene in Roadrunner where Roadrunner sees something coming and it's sort of like they look at the mouse and they're like, look, you need to get out of Dodge, man, because shit's about to go down. And they dodge out the way and something falls from the sky. That's kind of what I'm seeing. It's like counterpart here is sort of like, look, I'm really not getting involved. This is not a me problem. This is something that, this is something you need to deal with. They're actually making this person accountable. And I feel for a long time this has actually gone on deaf ears for the individuals. And it has caused some issues of abrupt kind of outbursts with their behavior patterns and, how they've really been feeling with the outcome card, which is, releasing their wounds. So, on the overall for the top row, we have this circumstance where it's almost like reap what you sow. Both parties not seeing eye to eye. I don't know. I do get this distinct feeling for some. They are single. There's also a group that's coming through where they're actually discussing individuals that have been single for a while. And I feel it was maybe because of Mercury retrograde. It was unhashing some old situations of the past where some karmics maybe that felt that they were crossed. They were wanting to come back and seek revenge. Okay, what is this underlying situation here, please? Okay, why is the party over? Yeah, they're wanting to go back in time. Okay, there's something they're playing over in their head. They were hoping that this was going to go differently to the way it did. They could be getting some messages. These messages could be strange. It's almost like if there was a meeting, if some people that they knew were around, they're counterpart. They're sort of like getting messages about what they're doing and how this person's transitioning and what their plans are. And also feel they've had those that are in a connection with counterpart. It's like there's been this very transparent conversation about the fact that, you know, they're not seeing eye to eye. The person wants to go in a different direction. For some, it even could have been discussions, and this is more relevant to those that maybe are married, that they're needing to go their separate ways, i.e. a divorce. Yeah, and this person's taking action, not the karmic, the actual individual that was, yeah, in the intimate connection with this individual. It's like, look, we need to go our separate ways. We're on a different, but this person's so detached. The person who was involved with them is so detached. They're almost like, look, we're not seeing eye to eye here. The person could be using victim consciousness to manipulate the scenario. The counterpart's really saying, look, you know, I've already made myself perfectly clear. I understand this could really be affecting you, but this has been a long time coming, and this now is really something that you need to deal with. I don't know what you're going to do. It could be that you need to lean in towards individuals that can support you, i.e. friends and family, but it just can't be me. We will check in with this energy next week and see how it's flowing and see if there's any regression. Otherwise, do check out masculine and feminine this week. It's interesting. I'll see you next week.